Good afternoon. We're going to go ahead and start off. We're going to reconvene to open session. F, announcement of actions taken in closed session. None. Do you want to go ahead and respond to that?
In closed session, Trustee Calderon arrived at 5:10, and Trustee Alvarado arrived at 5:25.
All right. G, comments from the public. Maria Bravo.
Testing. Good evening, board members.
Good evening.
My name is Maria Bravo. I've been working for Calexico Unified School District since 1999. We are here because we are asking for a fair contract and for you to honor our contract. We are 414 CSEA members here that works for this district. We make this district run. Padres de familia, sin el sindicato de nosotros los clasificados, nosotros si faltamos un día a trabajar, sus hijos no van a comer, no van a tomar asistencia, no va a haber nadie que los cuide en la escuela, no va a haber transportación. Pedimos su apoyo para que le exijan a esta mesa directiva que regresen a la mesa a negociar un porcentaje mínimo, porque queremos más de 5%. Tenemos una cláusula que indica que cualquier otro sindicato se recibe un aumento, automáticamente nos lo dan a nosotros. Desde el 2014 no lo han hecho. Ellos han violado nuestro contrato y exigimos y pedimos que regresen a la mesa. Y eso es lo que esperamos de ustedes. Regresar a la mesa, negociar y respetar nuestro contrato. En un año le dieron un porcentaje más al otro sindicato, al siguiente año le dieron 3% aún más. Aún nosotros teniendo esa cláusula, el distrito no lo respetó y no nos ha dado ese aumento. En el año 16-17, al otro sindicato le dieron otro 5% y hasta la fecha, ustedes no han respetado ese contrato ni nos los ha dado tampoco. ¿Qué quieren ustedes? ¿Nos quieren quitar esa cláusula? Si ustedes la quitan, aún así teniendo nosotros esa cláusula y no han respetado ese contrato, ¿ustedes creen que nosotros vamos a creer en ustedes? Pues no. Hay que ponerse las pilas y negociar. Y ya. Porque estamos hartos y vamos a tomar acción. Gracias.
Thank you. Any more? Moving on to H, presentations. H1, highest attendance for months 8 and 9. Blanche.
Alrighty, so now we move on to our highest attendance of the month. So we all know that attendance is crucial, it is very important, and that every day that our students are in school, they're learning important concepts and skills that they need in order for them to reach all their academic goals. And so I'd like to first bring up our month 7 principal, Miss Noriega from Mains Elementary School, if she's here or she's coming, she's making her way. And Mains Elementary School earned the highest attendance for the district for month 7. So when Ms. Noriega comes in, let's give her a big round of applause. So let me explain kind of how this works. So Ms. Noriega here has a trophy, which is very valued. And so Ms. Noriega has actually won it a couple of times, 3 times. So we just got to make sure that we're clear that she's won it 3 times. So now we have a new recipient who is the winner of the highest attendance in the district for months 8 and 9. Let's give a big round of applause to Ms. Hurtado, principal at Blanche Charles Elementary School. And they will be able to display this banner proudly anywhere on the school campus. Usually they put it somewhere very visible, but this also shows the students that the school site is making great accomplishments when it comes to attendance. So we hand over, you can give over the trophy, Ms. Noriega. So again, let's give another big round of applause to Ms. Hurtado, from Principal Blanche Charles Elementary School. Thank you.
Congratulations. Moving on to H2, student representatives from Aurora, Andy Herrera.
Still working? Okay. Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, Board of Directors and Acting Superintendent. My name is Andy Herrera. I'll be presenting this month's report. On the month of April, last Saturday, we had Arbor Day. And on this past week, from Tuesday to Friday, we had some students participate in the Mariachi Festival who were volunteering for credits or hours that they owed. These people were already close to graduating. And so they were helping set up chairs and wherever the people needed. Today we had the AmeriCorps visit and give a presentation. On the first week of June, Wells Fargo will come and give a presentation of how to save money. Also on the first week of June, we will have the cosmetology come and give a presentation to our students. And on June 10, we will have the graduation at 6 p.m. at Ronnie Auditorium at San Diego State University. And on June 8th, we will have the senior trip. June 18, summer school, all students have to attend. And that's it for this month's report. Thank you very much.
Thank you. From Calexico High School, Daniela Cortez.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the board, staff, parents, and students. My name is Daniela Cortez, and I'm Calexico High School student representative. ASB held a special prom event on May 19th, and the theme this year was Wizard of Oz, and some ASB students dressed up as Dorothy, the Lion, the Tin Man, the Wicked Witch, the Good Witch, and even the Munchkins. We received help from Enrique Camarena, ASB, and Circle of Friends. This event was held in order to allow all these special education students from across the Imperial Valley to have an amazing night together, and everyone had so much fun. On May 21st, we held staff breakfast, in which ASB provided a complete breakfast and was served to all the staff members at Calexico High School. ASB leadership class packets were due on May 21st for anyone wanting to participate in the 2018 through 2019 leadership class. We are currently holding ASB interviews for those who turned in their packets in time. We held our next year's ASB executive and class executive elections today during lunch, and for the results for ASB executive, we have President Gabriel Aguilar, Vice President Juliana Gutierrez, and Secretary Kayla Cornejo. Tomorrow we will hold Higher Ed Day, in which universities like UC, CSUs, and community colleges will visit our campus and talk to our juniors and answer any sort of questions they may have. The students will wear their favorite university school t-shirt tomorrow. We will have Memorial Day weekend, so there will be no school this Monday. On May 31st, ASB will host a spring sports banquet for all the spring sports players in the Barner Gym. Grad Night will be held on June 1st for our seniors, and Grad Night this year will be held at Disneyland. The seniors who have paid and were clear on time will leave the high school at 9 a.m. on June 1st and come back the following day at 7 a.m. Finals will be held on June 5th and 6th, and we wish all of our students good luck on these important exams. During the week of finals, we will have Senior Clearance Week, which will allow all seniors to clear in time for graduation. ASB will hold a pep rally for the incoming sophomores on June 8th, and this pep rally will show the students the campus and welcome them for the following year. Senior Spotlight will be held on June 8th in Varner Gym during period 3 and 5, and graduation will be held on June 12th. Thank you for your attention, and may you all have an amazing 3-day weekend and a great summer vacation.
Thank you. From Calexico 9th grade, Johnny Valenzuela.
Good evening, my name is Johnny Valenzuela and I am the district representative for Calexico 9th grade campus. During the month of May, we had many fun events for the 9th graders. The first event we held was Bulldogs Got Talent. This event took place last Thursday, during lunch at our gym. Contestants showed their talent to the crowd and were awarded with trophies. Many of the acts practiced with our ASB president Juliana Fimbres for the several Wednesdays in a row. Another event that took place in May was Special Prom, with the theme of Wizard of Oz. This event was sponsored by CHS main campus, but many promposals took place during the week of Special Prom at our campus, and so many students and staff enjoyed participating and watching the promposals. An event we are currently planning is a Brittany Ball, to which only the top 150 students academically will be invited. The Brittany Ball will be an event for the students who have worked hard for the past 2 semesters. These are the things we have done and are planning to do. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. From Enrique Camarena, Adrienne Campos.
Good evening. My name is Adrienne Campos. I am the ASB president at Enrique Camarena Junior High School. And in the month of May, so far, ASB helped the CHS main campus with the special prom, which was on Saturday, May the 19th. And we've also been doing our SBAC testing, and we're on our 4th and final week, and tomorrow will be our last day, so good luck to all of our Firebirds. And this year's motto for our SBAC was Crush the SBAC. We will also be having no classes on Monday the 28th in honor of Memorial Day. And next week, ASB will be having our 6th grade orientation tours for all incoming 6th graders from the 3 elementaries, Dole, Jefferson, and Cesar Chavez. And on May the 31st, Avid will be having their end of the year parent dinner celebration. So to congratulate them on ending the year. And we have finals on the 4th and the 5th of June, and the day after, on Wednesday the 6th, it will be a PLC day. And then our 8th grade promotion will be Friday, June the 8th at the Varner Gym. And then on our 8th grade promotion dance will be on Monday, June the 11th. And then the last day of classes will be on June the 12th. And that's all for this report. And also I would like to thank the board for recognizing me at Cesar Chavez, I think it was last Tuesday. Thank you, everyone. Have a nice evening.
Thank you. From Willie Moreno Junior High School, Brianda Montaño.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Brianda Montaño, and I am a part of ASB William Moreno. Today, I will share with you the events we have planned for the month of May. We started with the month with the super cool activities for our Aztecs. On May 4th, we had 3 different activities for our students. To start off the day, we had May the 4th Be With You, to which our students could bring Star Wars attire for the entire day. Later that day, during lunch, we had our last annual picnic. During lunch on that day, we also had disability awareness challenges. As an example of a challenge is autism. We did, which ASB student was playing a movie, playing music, and having a conversation with one of our Aztecs. We did this only for the purpose of our Aztecs learning how it feels, or have an understanding of how it feels to be autistic. We had other challenges for disabilities or conditions such as dyslexia, cerebral paralysis, and being in a wheelchair. We started off to test for SBAC on the week of April 30th to May 4th for math, and for language arts on the week of May 14th through May 18th. Then on May 7th, we asked our Aztecs to wear school spirit shirts. On May 8th, we had Jersey Day. Then on May 9th, we had Hawaiian Luau Day. Next, on May 10th, we asked our Aztecs to wear Villain versus Superhero shirts. On the last day of Spirit Week, May 11th, we asked our Black One classes to choose a color so they would wear it that day. Those are all the events for the month of May. Thank you.
Thank you. Now we're going to move on to H3, Students of the Month recognitions. Start off with Aurora.
Hello. The next person is Brittany Gonzalez Felix. She may stand up.
Yes, she's
And if we can have Brittany and her parents please come up as well, please. Brittany's parents.
Okay, thank you. Brittany, her plans after graduating from Aurora High is to go to IVC and to study criminology. And what sparked this interest is ever since she was small, she always had an interest in criminology. And once graduating from the class of criminology, she plans into going into forensic science in IVC still. And her after school activities is to go to the gym. And that is it for her short interview. Thank you very much. Okay. Next is Mike Anguiano Rodriguez. También los padres de Mike pueden subir con él. Okay. Mike Anguiano, he plans on going to IVC after graduating from Aurora High, and from there he plans on going to San Diego State University to further his studies as a registered nurse. And his specifically the point where he wants to go is undecided, but he plans to stay in Calexico. What sparked his interest in going to the medical field was because his grandma inspired him to go, due to him always helping with her medication, whatever she needs. And that is it for Mike Anguiano short. Thank you very much.
From Calexico High School.
Is there any preference of student to go first, or just whoever?
Just read them all.
Okay. Is Datsi here? Okay. Datsi Tamaya is a senior at Calexico High School.
Do you have Dotsie's parents?
Oh,
Please come up.
sorry. Datsi Tamaya is a senior at Calexico High School and has an overall GPA of 4.12. She would like to thank her mother and brother, aunts and uncles for their unconditional support. She is involved in the Bulldogs Health Awareness Club and California Scholarship Federation. Her plans after high school is to attend the University of California in San Diego and major in neurobiology. The advice that she would give to her younger self is to get involved in community service and to take advantage of the opportunities of improvement. Congratulations. Rosendo Espinosa. Rosendo Espinosa is a senior at Calexico High School with an overall GPA of 4.01. He would like to thank his parents for always cheering him on and helping him out. He is the treasurer of an eco garden and the math club and the president of the MESA and captain of the Calexico High School drumline. His plans after high school is to attend SDSU and major in electrical engineering. The advice he would give to his younger self is to not to slack off, because he will regret more what he didn't do than what he did. Congratulations.
Thank you. From Calexico 9th grade campus.
From the 9th grade campus, can we have Alexander Mosqueda? Alexander plans to be a doctor in the future and to run for president of the United States. His favorite class this school year is biology. He likes it because it will help him in the future as a doctor. His favorite teachers this school year are Miss Benamulas, Master Chief, and Mr. Gentry. On his free time, he likes to read Spider-Man and Star Wars comics. Alexander would like to thank his parents, Nana and Tata, and all of his teachers, and Stan Lee. Alexander always takes the time to say hello to anyone. He could be so often doing the community service out of kindness of his heart, and not because he is asked or needs to. Alexander is a positive influence on everyone in Calexico 9th grade. Destiny Navarro. Destiny's plans for the future would like to become a registered nurse. She feels that being a registered nurse will allow her to help others. Her favorite class this year was home economics because she is able to build real-life skills rather than just work out of a book. Her favorite teacher this year is Mr. Nunez. When Destiny is not in school, she loves to play softball. She also played freshman softball for Calexico High School. Destiny would like to thank her family and teachers for all their help and support. Destiny recently won first place IVC math competition for Algebra 1.
Congratulations from Enrique Camarena.
Okay, so first is Eduardo Aguirre here. Okay, so Eduardo is in 8th grade. He is the son of Carla de la Cruz and Raul Iquida. His hobbies include playing soccer, having fun with friends and family, going places, and doing his work. His favorite subject in school are math and literature writing. When he graduates, he would like to become either a medical engineer or a doctor. He would like to thank his parents and his teachers because thanks to them, he has learned new things and he is the person that he is today. Next, we have Glenda R. Utzler. She is in 8th grade. Glenda is the daughter of Monica Martinez and Arthur G. Utzler. Her hobbies include reading, drawing, writing, playing video games, and searching the internet. She does not have a favorite subject, and she enjoys them all equally and would like to continue improving her skills equally. When she graduates, she would like to most likely apply for college or university to continue studying art and writing. She would also like to get a part-time job to help her with her education and all her expenses. She would like to thank her family, friends, and especially her friends Marco Lujan and Hannah Soto because they have supported her despite any conflicts that has occurred within the relationships. Each individually helped her improve and criticized her work in a way that helped her strive to continue trying her best. And if these people had not been there for her, she would have given up on her goals and dreams a long time ago, and they inspire and motivate her to reaching such goals. Congratulations.
Congratulations. From Willie Moreno.
Our 7th grade district student of the month is Christopher Lugo Fonseca. Christopher is the son of Griselda Fonseca and Victor Lugo. He has one younger sister, Valeria, who attends Rocker Elementary. Christopher's favorite class is mathematics, which he has with Mr. Gutierrez. Some of his other favorite things are pizza, the color light blue, and all kinds of music in Spanish. Christopher is thankful to his parents because they're both great people. His mom wakes up early and makes sure everything is ready for school, and his dad works hard to provide for the family. He appreciates their support. Although Christopher isn't sure of what college he wants to attend, he is sure that he wants to go to a college. As for his career, all Christopher knows is that he wants to build things. His short-term focus is to continue getting good grades so he can have a great future and get his job of his dreams. Way to go, Christopher. You're on the right path. William Moreno, student district of the month, is 8th grader Ana Sofia Diaz. Ana Sofia is the daughter of Ruben Diaz and Grisel Madrigal. She has 3 siblings, Alexa, Andrea, and older brother Angel. Anna's favorite class is mathematics with Ms. Gamboa. And Anna thinks math is easy to understand and not as boring as other subjects. Some of her favorite things are barbecued chicken ribs, carne asada tacos, and any type of salad. She also loves the color black and almost any type of music with the exception of punk rock. An interesting fact about Anna is that she likes spiders. One of the reasons she liked to visit Australia, because they're known for its variety of spiders. She also wouldn't mind visiting Japan because she thinks its cities are beautiful. Anna looks up to her mother because she's so hardworking. She is non-stop and she always encourages her to get good grades in school so she can have a better future. Anna, incredibly, has known since she was 6 that she wants to be a neurosurgeon. We are impressed, Anna. We hope all of your dreams are realized.
Moving on to H4, CAF athletes. Boys tennis. Is the coach here? Come on, all the way in.
So if we can go ahead and have Coach Mr. Rodriguez introduce the players, or Mr. Costello. Yes, introduce them.
I have, what, 36 minutes? Is that what you told me? You want to give me your 3? So, a little bit about the tennis team. Thanks to these guys, another successful season. This year, we had a few accomplishments that we hadn't had in a while, and actually one that we hadn't had ever. As most years, we start the season with a lot of new guys, a lot of inexperienced guys, and you know, through the perseverance that we tend to see with so many students and athletes at Calexico High School, they found a way. We had a lot of lineup changes throughout the course of the season because, like I said, so many people were new, trying to figure things out. We weren't really sure what to expect, and but except for that we knew they were going to give it everything they had, and that's exactly what they did. These guys were able to qualify for CIF team, won their first round. We hadn't done that in a few years. Unfortunately, we met the #1 seed in the next round, and that got a little more difficult. During our IVL tournament, we had a total of 7 players qualify for CIF. I believe that was the most in the Valley. Another highlight, we had our first, as far as I know, our first male doubles champions in Jose Chao and Sebastian Vizcarra. They did great. But every single one of these guys, a lot of them, you know, are graduating this year, and that's always a loss. But the good thing is that we know that wherever they go, they're going to do the same thing they did here, and that's succeed. A lot of guys going to universities, quite a few that want to continue playing tennis, and that's exactly what they're going to do, as well as study. And we got a few guys coming back that we know are going to make a huge impact. I want to thank everybody for all the support that they always give our kids, because, again, as coaches, we try to do what we can, but we're greatly outnumbered, and without them and everything that they give, honestly, all we do is stand there and steal their glory, as long as it let us. So thank you guys again for everything that you guys were able to accomplish. This was another winning season. You guys are still by far the most successful program in the Valley. Haven't had a losing record in a long time, and it's because of you guys and everything that you guys have been able to accomplish. Okay, so thank you guys.
And I'd like to commend Coach Rodriguez and Coach Costello, because in order for them to have that perfect record that they've been holding for so many years, it's because of the incredible coaching that they've been doing. And so the team, congratulations for all your accomplishments, for representing Calexico Unified School District as proudly and passionately as you do, but also round of applause for our coaches for doing such an excellent job.
Double row. You know the routine. Yes. Tallest guys in the front. Tallest guy in the front. Tall boys. Yeah. Oh, we have to.
We'll have them stick around because they're going to be given pizza afterwards.
Yeah, correct.
The sports.
Yeah, correct.
Oh.
You let them know. You can let them know right now. You can announce yourself.
And boys tennis team, just quickly, boys tennis team, Mr. Rodriguez, Mr. Costello, if you can just wait outside. I know it's full, but if they can wait outside, and you'll be taken to another room for some goodies right now.
Okay, we're going to move on to our swim team. She just stepped out right there. Yeah. We got the swim team, right? Swim team.
I'd like to welcome our swim team and our coach, Mr. Andrew Munguia. He'll be introducing our swim team and saying a few words on their behalf.
All right, good evening. For those that don't know me, my name's Andrew Munguia. I'm the varsity swim coach for Calexico High School. The high school swim team was established a little over just 2 years ago, so this is our second season we just finished. And within these 2 seasons, we had a very good group of remarkable young men who dedicated and challenged themselves to make it to CIF Division I swim meet this year. So in the sport of swimming, making it to CIF within 2 seasons is truly remarkable because they went up against competition of other athletes that have been swimming their entire lives. So what they did is again truly remarkable. So again, a round of applause for them. So I'd like to introduce them. Joshua Ressa. Raise your hand. Adan Diaz. Emmanuel Serrano. Francisco Rosales. 2 swimmers that couldn't make it were Javier Malara, and then but here for his parents are Rodolfo Fernandez. If the parents want to stand up. So they truly had an amazing season, and we would like to thank the board and the parents and the community for supporting us. Thank you.
I'd like to give a huge shout out for Coach Munguia.
Soft.
I'd like to give a shout out and commend Coach Munguia for doing such an outstanding job. And like you mentioned, 2nd year and already competing at CIF in Division I. That's extraordinary. And students, thank you very much for representing us, for your passion and being out there and working so hard. Thank you very much. It's commendable and it's very much appreciated. Thank you.
Congratulations. You gonna take a picture? One more.
And boys swim team, if you can also stay together, you're going to be taken to another room for some treats.
Moving on now to the varsity track. Correct? They're coming in. The coaches. Students that were recognized also for Students of the Month, if you guys want to stick around, we're going to have cake for you guys as soon as we recognize everyone here.
My name is Cynthia Lewis. I'm the head coach for the boys and girls varsity track, well, varsity JV, freshmen, all the track kids. We had over 40 kids that qualified for our local IVL championships, and these are the kids that from those championships that qualified and made it to CIF. Both our boys and girls 4x1 and 4x4 relay teams. Can you guys just raise your hand real quick on the relay teams? If you're on the relay team. And then we had Sophia Lopez, who qualified for the high jump as well. And we had two of our throwers, Isaac, and I didn't see Mariana here, but Isaac are discus throwers. So like I said, we had over 120 kids on the team this year, and like I said, we had over 46 that qualified for championships, and they have to get first, second, or third to be able to go on to CIF. So these are that did it individually or on the relay teams. So we've had some really good years. This is my 4th year as the head coach of the team, and every year, I think this is the most that we've had to go both to IVLs and go to CIF, to go on to CIF in quite a while. And I'm just proud of it because a lot of these kids are returning next year, and so we're gonna have a very strong team. We have such a strong junior class, and I'm very much hoping that we will take IVLs for both boys and girls next year. Who's returning next year? Yep. So thank you.
I'd like to commend Ms. Leva, class of 1991. Big round of applause, Bulldog. Thank you, Ms. Leva, for doing such an amazing job. I mean, 120 students out there, you know, practicing in different events. That's incredible. And to have so many go to, you know, IVL and to go to CIF, you know, that's amazing and commendable. Thank you, students, again, for representing us, for your passion, for, you know, working so hard and representing Calexico Unified School District. Thank you.
If I can just say, I didn't notice my coaches were here, my assistant coaches, because I don't do it all myself. Like you said, we have 120 kids, I can't handle them all myself. So my assistant coaches, Vanessa Ochoa, Luis Rodriguez, Gabriel Beso, and Kobe King couldn't be here tonight. Thank you.
Congratulations. Congratulations. Thanks, sir. Brother, congratulations. 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 All right, picture time. Coach, congratulations. Like soccer. Congratulations once again. Moving on to H5, our first place winner in extemporaneous speech and second place winner in prepared speech.
Good evening, Board, Superintendent. Today I have the great pleasure to honor our student, Cecilia Arellano Ibarra. She went to the 8th Annual State Migrant Speech and Debate Competition, and she won first place in extemporaneous speech, which is the speech that you have to make up in about 10-15 minutes in Spanish, and she also won for the prepared speech as well, and she won second place. And she could not have done this without the countless hours that she and her coach, Ms. Grijalva, put in to prepare and to train. She also could not have done this, yes, without the nurturing and the constant support of her parents. Her parents are also PAC representatives. They're very involved with our migrant program, and we are extremely proud of her. Next year, she will be mentoring our debate team because she's going to be a senior. So she will be one of our top migrant students as well. We are very honored to have her as our migrant student and representative this year.
Congratulations once again. Moving on to H6, Caldwell Flores Winters Foundation Scholarship Award recipient.
Hello, everybody. My name is John Greenlee, and I'm with Caldwell Flores Winters, and we're the financial advisor to the district, and I'm the managing director. And today I don't represent CFW, I represent CFW Foundation. And this is the first year that we've been able to provide a scholarship to Calexico, and we've been doing it for a few years now, and I hope this is first of many. And let me, before I give out this award, I would just like to tell you, we have a very special scholarship, and we put it together because CFW was founded by a lot of people that work hard, that kind of came from the other side of the tracks and has a really strong entrepreneurial spirit. And so we created a foundation that is really for recipients that may not be your typical individual that would receive a 4.0 in the traditional scholarships, but those that have really had exemplary behaviors in school, have had some adversity and have really come through that, and with the recommendation of counselors and principals and people that really know their students, we're able to identify those and provide an opportunity for them to really excel. And one of the things that and I'll just share with you before I tell you who the recipient is, they write a little essay, and that essay is very, very telling. And I think it tells you a little bit about the quality of education, the quality of your community, and the kind of children that are coming out of your system, and I think something to be very proud of. And she writes, my family has raised me with specific qualities. I'm a hard worker, I'm responsible, and I'm organized. I'm also helpful, respectful, and very thoughtful to others. And one of the things the counselor said that she was about this recipient was that she was just very thoughtful to all of mankind. And so I think that tells you about the soul. And then lastly, and I think this is very important, I know about the rigors of life, and I know how difficult it may be, but I'm not afraid to work hard because I'm already used to it, and besides, I want to feel the satisfaction of being the first in my family to earn a college degree. I will become a role model for others who may be facing the same hardships that I faced, and most importantly, I'll be able to reward my parents for the sacrifices they have had to make to give me the opportunity to study beyond high school. I mean, for somebody who's still in high school to be that just cognizant of those in her life just shows of what a wonderful individual. And especially being written, I think, coming here and learning English, it's just very amazing. So I am very proud to be a part of this and to see what a great community, and actually to come sort of late, and all the great things that are going on here. So very wonderful. So I would like to give the CFW Foundation Award for $1,000 to Angeli Espinoza.
Oh, you want to turn around? Turn around that way. Congratulations once again. Moving on now to H7, our culinary student winners. Chef. Bring the trophies. Oh, yeah, it's good.
Good evening, members of the board. And parents and students, CHS. I want to speak first to the parents and just thank them for having this really talented sons and daughters. Señora Luna, Señora Porchas, y señora Barco y familia. Felicidades porque sus hijos han, no sé la palabra, desplayado un enorme talento a un nivel bastante alto que no se había mirado aquí en Calexico en los últimos tiempos. Sus hijos han ganado el primer lugar en el estado de California como chefs que representaron el programa de FCCLA, que yo sé que les han hablado mucho de eso, y más importante van a ir a competir a nivel nacional. Y los felicito porque tienen unos hijos muy dedicados. Gracias. And let me introduce you to our future chefs. Start with the girls first. Genesis Porchas. Fernanda Barco. And Francisco Luna. And I also like to thank all the support that we've been getting from the district office, the at the campus level, and all the support that we've been getting from also from FCCLA, the organization that puts together these events. And what I like to have is have one of our talents here come and say a few words in regards of their experience as FCCLA members. Francisco Luna, please come to the mic.
Good evening, board members, superintendent, parents, students, and public. We are here today to inform you about our recent accomplishment in placing first at the 2018 California Leadership FCCLA Conference in the Culinary Arts Senior Division competition. We are part of the Calexico High School Career Technical Education Department under the Hospitality, Tourism, and Recreation sector in the Food Service and Hospitality pathway. Our class is designed to integrate academic and career technical concepts that incorporates hands-on projects, work-based skills, and leadership development that prepares us students for college, for career in this industry, and overall for life. As a highly effective CTE program, we participate in the FCCLA Student Leadership Organization every year under our Calexico chapter. We are part of the Family, Career, and Community Leaders of America, equally important as FFA. I would personally like to thank this system of the CTE program and also FCCLA for sort of allowing me or helping me to improve my skills as a culinary introduction or as a starting up chef. This has really helped me as a CTE program to better my intelligence as a student. Now that I'm a senior, I like to thank especially Chef for almost 2 years of knowing him and being in his class. He has really taught me a lot of my skills that I've learned with him, all the memories, times, and friends that I've shared moments with. This new accomplishment has opened a new chapter in my life. At the beginning of high school, I didn't really think I would join a culinary class until it came to junior year that I was enrolled in his class. And little by little, I understood the difference of culinary and hospitality and all the different areas of this in culinary industry. And as I entered into their senior year, I along with my colleagues, we participated in this competition, and I believe it sort of gave us that little push of wanting to continue with our career. I guess or begin with our career as a culinary arts now students officially. We received many awards in the regionals and now in the state. We hope to do our best in our national competition. We received about $24,000 each as scholarships, and we plan to use them in the near future when we are hopefully enrolled into our college of choice. It is very important for a student to join a CTE program. For example, we don't really have the resources that other schools have. For example, at regionals, it was at Colton High. They had a little bit more advanced kitchen, So I believe that an industrial kitchen here at Calexico High School will sort of help more a student, because at state we've practiced on those kitchens, and we see that it's a much more improved system, that we're basically like just lost, but kind of found a new way in the kitchen. And I believe that with this new construction that will be coming to Calexico High School in the near future, will really improve this CTE program, along with other constructions that may be included in the future. I would really I want to say encourage other students, especially sophomores, to join this program, especially the culinary one, because it's a really fun experience, but also not just the fun, it also opens you a new career, if I may say. I personally didn't want to join in the culinary system, but after these 2 years, I'm very confident in joining an institution if it's possible, and hopefully with these grants and scholarships, we will join this. Thank you. And one more thing, I would like to thank all of our advisors and all the people who have been supporting us throughout these competitions. And I'd like to thank for Chef Nunez and Ms. Betty Nunez, along with Ms. Height, who I don't think she was able to come here, but we thank her for all the paperwork that she's done for us, and Ms. Nunez for all the support. She's always shouting our names out there and giving those shout outs. We thank you for that. And Chef, thank you for these 2 beautiful years of knowing you. Thank you. Thank you.
I just want to commend our chefs, for competing at a state level and representing us so proudly. Just like our debate team, represented us at the state level. That's amazing. I mean, that you're going to the state and representing, Calexico Unified School District, Calexico High School Bulldogs, and you're out there, is amazing. And so thank you. You do us, make us proud. And also, behind great students, we have amazing coaches and supporters. And so thank you, Chef Nunez and Miss Nunez and Miss Height, and also back there, Miss Carrillo Grijalva, for doing an amazing job with our students, being those leaders, those role models, and helping our students excel to make sure that they, reach their goals and their dreams. So thank you very much. And we're going to go ahead and take a short recess, 5 minutes. You can enjoy the cake and the coffee, if you like coffee outside. Thank you.
Okay, moving on to H8, Calexico High School, CTE Culinary Modernization Project. First, though, we want to go ahead and, go ahead, Carlos.
All right, so it's very exciting that we get to have this next presentation, especially after we have our culinary students that are winning championships at a state level, and that actually will now be going to a national level championship in Atlanta, Georgia, if I'm not mistaken, right? So good luck with that. But we do have a presentation in regards to the CTE Culinary Modernization Project at Calexico High School. I do want to acknowledge a couple of individuals that are here, especially Mr. Eric Ortega, who is IID Director. Is he here? And Angelita Topete, also, she's Department Analyst at IID. And the reason it's very important that we acknowledge before we begin is because Calexico Unified School District has been recipients of grant from IID for $675,000. And so, thank you. And so with that, we'd like to give a presentation to the board in regards to what that modernization project looks like. And so we'll begin the presentation. We'll have Mr. Jimmy Sanders and Ms. Carolina Rodriguez, our Assistant Superintendent of Business Services. And we'll start with Mr. Sanders.
Well, thank you for the opportunity to present the Career Technical Education Project. We have a PowerPoint presentation to inform the board on what that project includes. So the first slide shows the existing campus plan, and it shows the existing Career Technical Education facility in its current location. And so the plan is to modernize that, that facility. Now, it also shows what we refer to as interim housing, because in order for us to modernize that existing facility, there's 3 classrooms there now, so we're going to have to install some interim housing. And we want to point out that that's going to first serve to support the Career Technical Education Modernization Project, but it will also support any future modernization projects that need to be done if any relocatable or interim housing is needed. So we're proposing to place those interim housing facilities in center field of the baseball field. So there's a fenced off area there where we're going to move some fences, but the outfield fence for the baseball field remains in place. So that's an enlarged plan of the proposed interim housing. So we would be installing one 40 by 48 culinary arts facility, one 40 by 48 lab facility, and then a standard 24 by 40 relocatable classroom. Okay.
These are modulars to bring in?
Correct. Correct. Modulars on wood foundations. So the least expensive way to set a modular. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Truly a temporary facility. Yes. Okay, so this next plan shows the existing facility that these good students work in every day, and you know, train these 3 of some of Calexico High School's finest here with their award. And what we want to show you is that in that facility we have a culinary arts lab, a fashion design and apparel manufacturing lab, and a standard classroom. So it's proposed that that entire wing be modernized. Now, those students are currently working in a, I'm not going to call it a modernized facility, but it was originally built as a home economics facility, right? And so they assumed that space because that was the best space that the high school had in order to support a career technical education, but it was never designed as a career technical training facility, right? It was built as a home ec lab, okay? Where kitchen skills were taught. Okay, this next slide shows the proposed floor plan of the new state-of-the-art career technical culinary arts facility. So as you can see in this last slide, I want to show you that this wall here that separates the standard lecture classroom and the fashion design classroom, okay, that wall becomes the dividing wall between the standard classroom, and now this entire space is taken up by career technical education culinary arts. Okay, so the project includes the modernization of the standard classroom. So that would be the first classroom that's modernized as a standard lecture classroom. It would have all of the new standards for Calexico High School for data, AV equipment, finishes, air conditioning. And then, of course, this would support a new state-of-the-art culinary arts facility. So a few features I'd like to point out is there's a lecture area. So this island here is the instructor island. On both sides of the island, mounted in the ceiling, are flat panels. And then there's a document cam over the island so that the The students in lecture arrangement here can see very easily what is being taught by the instructor at the island. And then there are 3 student islands. There's another instructor item here. There's a walk-in freezer, a walk-in refrigerator, a walk-in dry storage area. There's a warewashing area. And of course, all of that equipment is all brand new. There's new HVAC mechanical systems, new electrical systems, all to support the new equipment. This next slide shows a typical student island and hood. So each one of the islands, not only do they have all stainless steel workspace and equipment, but there's also a hood to support the equipment. And then these next 2 slides show all of the proposed equipment that is proposed to be installed in the new facility. So that is an integral part of the IID grant that the IID is supporting there. It would be to furnish all of this equipment or to fund all of the equipment. Okay. That's additional equipment. And then this last slide shows possible project funding sources, which Carolina is going to talk extensively about that, and then the proposed schedule, which is to start construction in September and complete construction in May, which is about an 8-month project in order to modernize that facility. Okay.
I do have a few questions before Mr. goes on for you know, bringing in these mobile classrooms. I like to see an inventory taken. An inventory of all our classroom space at the high school, because we sat here once and we said that no more mobile classrooms. So I'd like to see someone to take an inventory of all our available classrooms at the high school, because maybe we can actually meet the need of these 2 classrooms that are going to be misplaced before we even go and spend on mobiles.
Sure. Okay.
That, and I see that the entire inside of this building is going to be new. How about the outside? Do we have any plans for the outside?
Yes, the modernization project includes new windows, new roofing, and new doors and hardware. So, you know, we want to make sure that we protect the investment of all those new finishes and new equipment with the new roof.
Was there input from students also as well as far as this project goes?
Yes, there's. In fact, we've met several times with the chef, yeah. And I think I don't want to speak for him, but
that has been verified. Yes, you have met with him. Thank you.
Yeah. I think he's very, very excited about the plan. I don't want to speak for him, but yeah. Yes. One of the programs that we're trying to secure funds from includes an application that's due in October, and that application requires that there are extensive meetings with the end users and the stakeholders, and so we're in the process now of going through that, and so we're going to be submitting that application in October. But again, the point is that it's required that we meet with the end users and all of the stakeholders and receive their input. So we're in the process of doing that.
Why is it working? It's not working here. Okay, so why a trailer? If we're going to spend all this money on these brand new facilities, why can we just have a permanent building for this project instead of a trailer?
Yeah. So the only purpose of the trailer is just a temporary interim housing to house the students just while we relocate them out of their current lab, the current CTE lab, right? So we're going to move those students out of there, and we're going to house them in either a temporary modular building, or we're going to review and see if there's some space there at the high school that we can put them in. But then as soon as the project's done, well, then they would move back into their permanent, modernized, permanent building. So it's just, it's truly what we refer to as temporary or interim housing, right?
Okay. And if I may, Mr. Calderon, when you have projects like this, a lot of movement, a lot of construction, you know, when you have modulars, it's a good thing, because that way, as it is, the high school is impacted. And however, with the modulars, it'll give that additional space in the event that we have to move staff whenever the modulars are coming up. I'll give you a perfect example. Central, I believe, is working on the STEM building. I believe they have 20 modulars for the duration of that project. So it will allow for flexibility.
If I may just add real quick, current inventory at the high school is 0, and so we would need to bring in a modular in order to relocate those teachers. Absolutely every single classroom, every single space, closet, offices is being used by teachers or classified staff. So there is just no classroom available or space available to be able to relocate the actually 2 programs, the 2 CTE programs that are going to be relocated. They need a significant amount of space, more than just the regular classroom.
Ms. Williams, when was this inventory taken?
Well, in terms of walking the school, I know the classrooms. We have a school map, and every single space in that map is labeled. It's with a name, with the teacher, with an office space. Okay. I want to believe that in 3 years walking the campus, I know it very well, and I know every classroom, every door. I don't think, you know, there's just no space in order to relocate two big programs that require specialized equipment and then an additional classroom.
Thank you.
Thank you. We got a couple of comments from the public. Mr. Horton.
I just want, Ben Horton, member of the Measure V Oversight Committee. We spent 2 separate days reviewing this, Monday and today. And on Monday, we had questions, thanks to Ms. Aguilar to bring it up. And we reviewed it today, and we find that this is a very good program to move forward on. Also, you have time constraints that you have to react to. So this is something that's going to benefit our great students here, and to give them the equipment and the means to move forward with their studies, and to give them a workspace. And this is one of the ideas we talked about with Measure V, was to be proud, so the student have an environment, an atmosphere, let's say something that they could say that it lends to itself for learning. We feel that this is a great process, a great program to move forward on, and is making Calexico a great place to be part of, which it has never stopped being great, but it's just accenting the greatness of it. Thank you.
Thank you. Norma Aguilar.
I'm going to use my normal voice. I think I can project quite clearly. My name is Norma Aguilar, and I also am on the Measure V Oversight Committee. And I want to... Okay. That sounds muffled. Is that better? Okay. In any case, this dream has been a long time coming. I know because Chef Nunez and I had numerous conversations about like in 2010, 2011, and the opportunity came with the IID mitigation funds to write a grant. And we were lucky enough to get this amount. And I did have questions on Monday because we didn't have clarity. Those questions and those doubts were answered at our meeting today at lunch. And I want to lend my full support to this action. This is a wonderful opportunity and a culmination of Chef Nunez's dream and the dreams of our students, because they're going to have a state-of-the-art facility. And I just want to encourage you to lend your support as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions, trustees?
Just a comment.
I don't see it as an action item. It's just a project. So
It's for information at this point. It's a presentation to the board. And then what we'll do is bring it back as an action, but we wanted to present it to the board and see if you had any questions on it first.
Come on, the next one.
Okay.
The other one, Javier, the other one. Dear trustees of the board, before I begin, voy a hablar en español y quiero darle las gracias a los padres de estos niños. Yo no he escuchado que le hemos dado las gracias a los padres. Y sin el apoyo de ellos, estos niños no pueden hacer lo que hicieron en la competición. Y les agradezco mucho. So we're going to start by saying that this project is a great opportunity. It's an investment. It's not a cost, or it's not an expense. It is an investment because it comes in at a great opportunity. So before, I don't know if I went too fast. Okay. Before, the first thing I want to go over is the Measure V Schematic A, where this project falls in. We're taking care of the parking lot. It's $1.6 million. We're also doing the modulars, and that's going to be in July. And then CTE wing falls in the rest of the phases that we knew from day one that we were not going to have enough funding to fund all of the things that we want to do with the 23 million bond. So as things come up, as funding comes available, then we would look at the other phases and see where it best fits. And CTE, like I said, the money from IID, the money from CTE, IG state funds, we have enough funds right there. It just falls in place with the modernization project B1. And so we bring this schematic summary to you so that you know that it isn't within what we made our commitment to our community members when we passed the Measure B funds. And then the last phase is the cafeteria and multipurpose room. So we wanted to give you a summary of the cost of this project. The project has a total cost of $3,280,000 with $909. And it's broken down, it's between the kitchen, the culinary arts classroom, the standard classroom that's going to be modernized, and the cost for the temporary housing. So the whole project is 3.2, and then I'm going to give you and before this goes on or moves forward, we would have to agree or get direction from the board to move forward with the plans. The plans would be submitted to CDE and DSA, and we expect that if we move forward with this, the approval would be in September or in October. Okay? The construction of this whole area would take 8 months, approximately. So here's a summary of the funding. Javier, if you can zoom it a little bit, please.
No.
So the summary of possible funding. Right now we have 23.6 million on hand. That's Measure V funds. Plus we already have 400,000 from the Career Technical Education Incentive Grant. The next year, 18-19, we might get another 400. On top of that, we're also hoping to get the 624,500 from IID. And then, as Jimmy mentioned, and in order for us to get disbursements from IID, we have to spend 90% of the first third of the grant up front. So it's a claim basis kind of funding. And then after that, we are also looking at the Career Technical Education Facilities Program funding. And this is a 50-50 match kind of funding, meaning that out of the 3.2, we could possibly be getting the 1.6 million from that facilities program. And that's the paperwork that's being compiled to submit in October. Mrs. Montaño is working on it. Mr. Sanders and a group of people, we're all working on it to making sure that all of the documentation's in place and that we can get that $1.6 million. After that, if it wasn't enough money for us to fund the project, we're also looking at state modernization funds. That is a 60-40 match.
we can use the IID grant funds as a 40% match. And that's why I'm saying that this is a great opportunity to move forward with this project, because there is funding out there that if the project does not materialize, then the funding goes away. We can't use that funds. And then once we, possible funding for more projects that are part of the Measure B scheme, schematic A, is us applying for facility hardship funds. Once we spend down the $6.3 million, then the district can apply for hardship status. Why? Because we've depleted the funds, obviously working on the priority projects at the top of the list. And once we have encumbered those amounts, then we can go out to the state and they would fit us in an eligibility criteria, which we would do because we have spent down the funds. And then they would give us a hardship status. And subsequent projects under this status could be funded at 100%. So this would allow us to resume our planning in finishing all the phases of our Measure B projects.
What did you say if the IID grant comes through?
Well, if the project is not supportive by the board member, by the board, or the project doesn't move forward, then IID doesn't really want to consider giving the funds, because they really want a project that's geared towards the students.
Where is he?
Mm-hmm.
He's over there.
Where's who?
Mr. Ortega.
Oh, Mr. Ortega, yes.
So are we, so if we move forward, then is IID committing to fund these projects? Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're, yes?
Yes, they have.
Mhm.
IID has.
Okay.
Yes, they have.
Yeah.
And we'll bring it up on the next one.
There we go. All right, what was your question? So if we move forward, if we commit our money or the monies that she's talking about, is IID also committing to fund these programs?
It's committing to what's in the application,
Okay.
which is the project.
Okay, the project, that's
And please do, because we caught a lot of heat because this money didn't go north, it came south.
Oh.
So I implore you to please.
So with that said, that is a pretty brief summary of our commitment to Measure B, making sure that the process has integrity, that all of the funds are being looked at to work on the things that we as community members said we wanted to do, and also giving the students, not only these 3 students, but more students that will cross those aisles, a better life for them, for the community, and for their families. It's just an amazing project. So if you don't have any more questions.
I don't
have any.
I just want to thank you for the presentation. It's a great project. And thank you to Ms. Ortega and the ID. That's awesome that you're providing us with those funds. Thank you.
And if I may, I just like to thank, there's a lot of people to thank. We have Mr. Ortega, again, thank you very much. We have the Measure V committee, which has spent a tremendous amount of time looking at it as well in regards to the Measure V funding, as is the responsibility of the Oversight Citizens Committee. We have Ms. Topete here from the IID, Ms. Montaño from the district office. They have been exchanging information back and forth, which has been a tremendous amount of work for a long time. Jimmy Sanders, has worked tirelessly in regards to the designs. Ms. Rodriguez for providing a lot of the financial, information to the team. Chef Nunez, the dream that you have and the passion. And ultimately, everything that we do, is for our students that are right here. And so we want to make sure that you achieve your dreams. And I think you said it best, right? When you go to competition, now if you have something like this, you'll be able to have a standards type industrial kitchen that you'll be able to use, which is what you compete with when you go to all these competitions. So again, it's all for our students, and we're very proud to be bringing this project and this presentation to the board.
So Carlos, when can we expect this for our approval?
It will be coming at the next board meeting. That was in my Measure V presentation, but the original grant writer is Ms. Norma Aguilar. So thank you very much.
Thank everyone that participated in this. Moving on to I, consent agenda. All items appearing will be acted upon by one motion without discussion unless any item is pulled for separate consideration and action.
Move to approve.
Motion by Calderon, second by Calderon Jr. All those in favor, please state aye. Aye. All those in favor, Romero, Calderon, Calderon Jr., Castillo, myself. Moving on to J, information items. J1, superintendent's report.
All right, so happy classified week. We thank all of our classified staff for their hard work and dedication to our students, parents, and staff. Also, we did have our employee recognition ceremony last week, and we honored, all the years of service that our employees give us to the district, and also our retirees, that have given us so many years and now are ready to move on, and we wish them farewell. Thank you, trustees, for being there and making the evening a very memorable one. We had our AXA Administrator and Teacher of the Year held also last week. I was able to attend, and we did recognize our Administrator of the Year in the area of technology, Mr. Lucio Padilla. So let's give him a round of applause. And also we had our Teacher of the Year, Mr. Louis Bowen, who is a teacher at Dual School. And I have to hand it to our Navy Cadet program. They did an amazing job of representing us, and also our jazz band. They were excellent. They did an amazing job of representing us at the AXA dinner. And so Calexico Unified School District was definitely well represented, and it was in the house. So thank you to our students again for representing us so well. Ms. Williams, thank you for helping us with all that as well. I did attend the Latin American Theater performance. I was invited, and it was held at the Godfrey Memorial Gym. And I have to tell you, Mr. Jorge Jimenez is absolutely amazing. What leadership, what passion he has. The students did a magnificent job. I mean, it was, close to any, professional theater that you could go to. And our students were so attentive and just eating every word that our students were performing. And also, we have a lot of talent with our teachers when it comes to performing. We had Mr. Gonzalez and Ms. Espino, who both performed a song and a duet. And I tell you, you could definitely bring them to a party and they would rock the night away. So they were wonderful. I also attended the robotics competition at Calexico High School. Thank you, Ms. Williams, for opening up Varner Gym. We had different high schools come in and compete. We had CETIS from Mexicali, we had Central, and our students. And the magnificent thing was that we had students from some of the other schools come over, and they were able to actually see the competition for robotics if they would have gone to the actual competition, they would have seen it in the same form and fashion, which was excellent. Just like to mention that there's no school on Monday in remembrance of Memorial Day. So do want to honor and remember everyone who has died serving in our American Armed Forces. And we do have a town hall meeting scheduled for next Wednesday at 6 p.m., which we'll be talking about modernization projects, especially at Calexico High School. And the town hall meeting will be at the library at Calexico High School, Wednesday, May 30th at 6 p.m. And that is all I have.
Thank you. Moving on to J2, Measure V update.
All right. So we did have a couple of Measure V meetings this week. A lot of discussion in regards to funding and the use of Measure V funds specifically for the Calexico High School Culinary Modernization Project. And both meetings were great, and I want to thank the Measure V committee members that are here for their wonderful input. And more than anything, they voted unanimously to use the Measure V funds to help fund this project. And so we're very grateful for that, and thank you, Measure V committee members, for that. Also, just mentioned the town hall meeting for Calexico High School Measure V will be discussed, and we'll be discussing all the modernization projects. That is all. Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
If I could just say, I want to really commend Ms. Montaño for her stewardship of this project. She guided it through and then was very patiently working with IID and she's the one who gave the responses. I had an opportunity to review the interchange, and there was a lot of detailed work, and she was even working on it today. So thank you.
I agree. Thank you, Ms. Montaño.
Thank you. Moving on to J3, association comments. ACT? None. CSCA?
Good evening, board and audience. I'm sure you are aware already that the impasse was denied by PERB, and they have ordered the two parties to come back to the table. Michael's been trying to contact the lawyer to come back as soon as possible for negotiation. He doesn't seem to answer, doesn't seem to care. He has left a message since yesterday and had no response. We're ready to go. If you want us tomorrow, we'll be there tomorrow. There's no problem. But I would like for you to push that lawyer. We need to get this done before June. And also, I want to comment that Me Too clause does not cost any money to the district. It's never been used. So I don't know why they're stalling on this item. Also, I would like to let you know that we started negotiations in February 2017. And the last one we had was May 7th. To this date, you have paid $74,089.74 to that lawyer for CSCA. That's a salary. So please, order that lawyer to come back to the table as soon as possible. Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to J4, ROP committee.
ROP. Just quickly a quick ROP update. So I think I shared last time their large annual fundraiser wrapped up. The following week, the foundation committee did meet, and subsequent to that meeting, distributed or announced their scholarship winners as well. Calexico was among that scholarship pool, so there will be a student or students that might be receiving those funds to continue their education for a number of categories, including CT, of course. Along the same lines, there was a teacher in Calexico also identified to receive funding to support their classroom work, classroom projects. I believe that was Mr. Jaime, Alex Jaime. So the funds from these events are coming back to the district to help our schools, our programs, our classrooms. I think as well, I know prior to this meeting, I was at another event at the DSS, Foster Youth, through their ACE project that we hear about. So kind of an end of recognition, awards for their own youth. But in the audience were certainly a number of parents and students from Calexico participating in these events. So there is certainly a number of foster youth in our district, among other categories. So this is an opportunity for them to get support. These ROP projects supporting our families, our community, and of course the students in our schools. So providing some stabilization, some support academically and for their success. So, and I'll wrap it at that.
Thank you. Safety committee.
Good evening. We held our last safety committee on May 14th. Just to close up the year, and some of the discussions we had was what sites were doing for the cool zones during the last month of school. And so they had an opportunity to share what they were doing at their sites so that if there were any ideas that others would want to implement. So that was the reason for we had that. We also provided a catapult update just to share what some sites have done in terms of catapult and how it's now active district-wide. I also shared with them that we will be speaking with PD because they're also interested in being part of the catapult and getting those alerts. And then from there, we'll also talk to the fire department so that whenever the alerts comes to us as safety committee at the district level, that they too get these alerts. Other discussions we had is I shared with them the information I had shared with the board regarding the Homeland Security walkthroughs that we did. We also talked about our possible staff development and needs for the August 2018 training professional development day that's coming up, and so they provided some suggestions. And then we had a discussion also on cameras and where we're at, and possibly piloting cameras at 1 or 2 sites instead of just going district-wide, because we don't know if the funds are going to be available for that. And so our next meeting will be once we come back in September.
Thank you.
I do have a question for you. The cool-down areas or designated areas, what are we doing?
They're using cafeterias, they're using classrooms, they have movies, they have activities, they have games. At the high school, they use the gym for students to play basketball. The library is open. They schedule their noon duty aids. So some of them are in the cafeteria, others go to certain rooms, and then there's still 1 or 2 that are outside because students are still given that option to go and play outside. But they're always just on top of the students and making sure that they're hydrated.
Okay. And the reason, because we've had some incidents and
Yes, yes.
I'm concerned about that.
Yeah, and a lot of the issues are hydration. And
Yes.
the students are not hydrating.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you. LCAP committee?
So on May 14 also, we submitted the first draft of the LCAP, and I was given some feedback and some changes that they were recommending at the county level. And so, Carolina and I have been coming on Saturdays and Sundays just to try and catch up and do some changes, but she's been very helpful with the whole budget piece. And even today, we were still kind of finalizing some of those changes. And so we should be able to submit. We have another meeting tomorrow on another activity that we're doing. And so we're hoping to send it off tomorrow once again to ISOE to give it a second view of it. And then hopefully be ready for our public hearing, which will take place on June 14th, next board meeting. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to J5 board reports. Mr. Romero.
I just want to congratulate Blanche Charles for the highest attendance and all the kids that were recognized here and all the teams. They make us very proud. That's all.
Thank you. Mr. Calderon.
A couple of things. Thanks everybody for being here tonight. Regarding our CIF students, I would like to congratulate not only the students, but also the coaches and the parents for taking the time and taking their students to practice and making sure that the students are well fed. Okay, it takes a lot of, it doesn't take just the students or the coaches, but also the parents to put that extra effort so the students are doing what they are supposed to be doing in school. So thank you, parents. I had a chance to attend, like Ms. Ramirez said, that LCAP meeting, safety committee meeting, and we were talking about many other things. We were talking about the cameras. So I would like this board to consider doing a pilot program for cameras for Dual Elementary and Blanche Charles. Oh, you want mains too? Well, for mains too, if we want to do that, no. That's muy feo. So as a pilot program, just and see how it works. Okay, I would hate to use funds in a program district-wide and then come to find out it doesn't work. And so if we do it in just a couple of schools, the principals can tell us what is it that works and what is it that doesn't work. So I would like for us to consider doing that for next school year. Also, would like to take a moment to congratulate Director Ortega for coming over and being helpful in this project for our kids. Okay, thank you, and thank you for being here tonight and pledging your support. What else? That's it. Thanks.
Thank you. Mr. Calderon, Chair.
Thank you, Board President Alvarado. Again, like Mr. Calderon was saying, congratulations to all the students and the parents that were here tonight and that received awards. Also, happy CSCA week for those employees that we have out there. And as a reminder, we have next week, we start the AR program bicycle giveaway. We are going to start with on the 29th with Kennedy Gardens, the 30th, Jefferson, the 4th of June, Dole, June 5th, Rockwood, June 6th, Mains, and June 7th, Plant Charles. So if you have time available, trustees, if you can join me, I would appreciate it to honor the top readers of this year before we end our school year. And again, thank you, all of you, for making it tonight.
Thank you, Trustee Calderon.
Sure, a few items. Again, this is a real busy time of the year for school sites, for parents. The district's certainly closing out the year. Number of events happening recently. I know Mr. Gonzalez mentioned this recognition of our retirees and their years of service. Nice event, wonderful event. A number of us board members were there to recognize, the accomplishments of our employees. So, great. AXA event you mentioned for Mr. Padilla, Mr. Bowen, great event. I think Calexico had the largest and loudest cheering section. So, great. It's good to hear that Calexico was there in the house, you can say, along with our students. We mentioned robotics yesterday. It was 2 days ago, I think. And that program seems to be growing, developing, and as you mentioned, a lot of elementary kids were there, and their eyes were wide open, looking at possibilities for technical education or STEM. And talking to some of the students there, they're excited about the possibilities, or when can I get it? In the high school or in the summer programs through the Adrenos and other technology. So there's, I think there's programs and developments happening in the district that are making that program strong. Circle of Friends special prom last Saturday was real special. I had a chance to stop by, and the students, I just want to recognize and thank the staff, teachers, classified staff that was there, and the parents that made that possible. I mean, they're dressed, the students dressed up, and maybe you'll see pictures, that'll be shared later, but the Wizard of Oz was the theme, so the students were dressed up in costume, full gear, real nice. The special needs students that showed up with their parents, they were all decked out. Some kids had tuxes on. And so that was just a real nice event. So hopefully we can see some pictures or share those later with us. But again, thanking everybody who made that possible. Working with the consulate, I think there were 2 events that happened recently. And one was here in this boardroom a week and a half ago. The consul was here for their IME program, right? Becas, IME Becas program. To recognize their students that are receiving their scholarships. So over $8,000, 8,000, right? More than 9,000. $9,050 students, Calexico High School. Second console event yesterday. And maybe I'll let you talk about that. Since you did already, right?
No.
Second, go ahead, console event.
So, the Mexican consulate has been incredibly generous when it comes to funding. I think we were at an event at IVC where they presented us with a check for $8,300, and then we were another event here, like Mr. Castillo mentioned, where they presented students with scholarships. And so, again, the excitement of them receiving those funds for them to continue pursuing their goals and helping them pay for their tuition is just amazing. And to top it off, I went with Ms. Brisa Price as well, and they gave us another check. I think it was for $3,300, and that was to purchase resources for our parents. And not only that, they're funding for us to be able to provide courses for them to be able to receive an elementary education and a high school education, which some of our parents may not have. However, they're endorsing us to be able to move forward and provide these services to our families, so that way they can, earn, an elementary, education degree or a secondary education degree. And I think that's just phenomenal that the Mexican consulate is very generous in the funds in order for us to provide services to not only our family and parents, but also the scholarships for our students.
Thank you. A lot of work. Again, happy Classified Employees Week. We've seen a lot of events happening or shared with us about some of the appreciations that are happening at school sites through pictures, both, for, of course, classified this week and certificated about 2 weeks ago. So again, thank you for all you guys do. This week, again, as mentioned, 3-day weekend, Memorial Weekend, so we thank those who have served and keep them in memory as well. And of course, everyone have a safe 3-day weekend.
Thank you, Mr. Castillo. I just want to congratulate all the students that were recognized today. So our boys tennis team, our swim team, our track team. Our culinary students, our first place winner, Cecilia Ariano Ibarra, for what she did. And for the wonderful presentation that we got today for our modernization project that we have coming up. I also want to say, you know, just Memorial Day weekend is on Monday. For all those that paid the ultimate sacrifice, you know, we have a lot here in our community that have passed away within the last 7 years that served for our country also as well. So keep those families in mind. And also for CSEA, happy CSEA Employee Week. And with that said, I have one more item. I want to see if the board would allow it. Yeah. It's for Ms. Aguilar. Yeah. You guys are okay with that? Okay.
I promise I won't speak too long. Unless you ask questions.
I want to speak to J3, and you might think it odd, but bear with me for a minute or two. I worked for this district for 17 years as a classified employee. Not only served as a classified employee, but I also was heavily involved with CSEA, worked my way up. And part of my experience with CSEA was serving on the negotiations team. The fact that the Me Too clause is an issue shouldn't be an issue. It doesn't cost the district anything to include it. On the contrary, over the years when I was there, and even since I've been gone, it has benefited the district as well, depending on how the negotiations are going. To make that a sticking point is not good for you or for the district. And I'll draw up on another experience. I'm going to switch from this side of the table to that side of the table, and remind Ciro, if you remember when you and I were on the board, and then we were tasked to look for a law firm. You remember? We did our homework, and then we found this firm that you guys are employing right now. But the reason we were drawn to this firm was because of this man, Mr. Weiler. Mr. Weiler has over 35 years of negotiations experience. Yet, in the ultimate point when the contract with this law firm was negotiated, the most expensive lawyer is the one, and the partner is the one who was appointed or was designated as your negotiations person. You remember that? Mm-hmm. And that has not changed. And you're spending a lot of money that could be spent elsewhere. So if you really want to make it a good CSEA week, let that Me Too clause go. Let it in. You'll be grateful later on. Mark my words. Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to K, discussion possible action items. K1, solar project, renewable energy programs at sites. Mr. Calderon.
Well, I've been asking about this for quite some time now, since I've been on the board, because I've seen a lot of, I have seen a lot of projects in other schools take advantage of this source of energy. So, and now that we are going to go, for example, now that we're doing these new phases of construction in our district, you know, why not look into see what it will cost us, not only with IID but with other companies, And that's why I would like to see an RFP and see what is it that other companies out in the valley have to offer us. In my school, in my paying district, they started about a month ago with shades for the parking lots, for the parent parking lot and the teacher parking lot or staff parking lot, and they're done. It took 1 month to do one school, full shades, and 2 of them. So I know it can be done, and I know back in the day they used to cost millions of dollars to get a project like this done. Nowadays, sometimes we wouldn't even have to put any money up front, and that's what I'm looking for. Well, I'm looking for, as they say, the best bang for the buck. In this case, see if there's a company or companies that could come and do it for us, where we would benefit, in other words. So that's where I would like to see if this board would like to go with, or have Carlos, give direction to Carlos to do an RFP and see what it would cost for us.
Well, number one, you wouldn't do an RFP, you need to do a study, see if it's worthwhile. Is it effective? What's the cost going to be? I'm not sure what the ID's reimbursement policy is. If they are continuing to, I know with homes, there's no incentive anymore to put solar projects. I mean, that's my understanding.
Previously, it was, the term was net metering.
Right.
And there was a pretty high reimbursement as to the energy generated when, and I'll just use as an example, your home.
Correct.
When you weren't at home and you were generating electricity, that went back as a credit towards your bill.
Right.
And that was a state mandate at that time, depending on the ratepayers and the usage, but that reimbursement has gone down. There's a lot of things to consider, and obviously what Mr. Calderon is talking about is something completely different from a residence and the reimbursement level. But the reimbursement is lower than it was before. I think you guys recently had a presentation as to solar energy for the district. So I don't know if they got into the concept of behind the meter and managing the load, which, okay, well, if that's what it was, it's way different from what happens out on a residence or various businesses that have solar panels. But it is interesting because going forward, as of 2020, I don't know if you've read, that'll be a mandate for new homes.
For new homes, yeah.
And the only exemption you can get for that is either that new home is under a tree, so you don't have to do it, or the roof can't sustain it. But that would, all depending on what you're talking about. But the reimbursement level is, you're correct, it's way down from what it was before.
Yeah,
so that's why you don't see it as enticing for residences, because if you take into consideration the maintenance for the panels, the reimbursement, and then the low power rates that you have in the valley compared to San Diego or Coachella Valley area, going like from Palm Springs and on, it's 30% lower. So once you factor all that in, and then the long-term investment for solar panels and the longevity, which is 20, 25 years, it doesn't pencil out. But again, what he's talking about,
Yeah,
it's
industrial, right.
Well, there is a couple of districts that have done it, which is Ball Union High School and Imperial Valley College. So wondering if we could reach out to them and find out a little bit more as far as what they had to do. That way we could get some feedback and see if it is something that, we want to go ahead and take on.
I know my district, we didn't pay anything up front. I don't know what they're doing, but they like a contract or something like that, and they're not paying anything up front, but they're buying the energy from that company. So I don't know the terminology, but I know there are ways in order not to put any money up front, and that's what I'm looking for. A way for us not to have to pay with the upfront cost, and let's see what the savings would be. And not the savings in 5-10 years, but we're talking about a long-term savings, so.
I think I would agree with Mr. Romero, take our time, not rush into it, but actually do that study, look at what other cost models are, multi-funding, the county office did those parking lot shades 7-8 years ago. You know, and it does take time, but let's do it the right way. I would say let's get the information if that's what we want to pursue, and then take our time from there.
So let's reach out to Brawley, to IVC, see what they went through, and also in regards to the studies also as well.
Okay, we'll do that. I mean, I think we can reach out to some of these other entities and find out if they went through a study and be able to get more information.
All right, thank you. L, action items, consideration and action approval of the following items. L1.
I move we approve.
Second.
It's for L1?
Yes.
Okay, motion by Mr. Romero, second by Calderon Jr. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those in favor is Romero, Calderon Jr., Castillo, myself. Moving on to L2, agreement between Calexico Unified School District and Pyro Spectaculars Incorporated to provide a fireworks production for Calexico High School graduating ceremony.
So moved.
Motion by Calderon Jr., second by Romero. All those in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
All those in favor is Romero, Calderon Jr., Castillo, myself. Moving on to L3, agreement between Calexico Unified School District and County of Imperial Department of Public Works for donation of 75 tons of asphalt.
So moved.
Second. So motion by Calderon Jr., second by myself, Alvarado. All those in favor, please state aye. Aye. All those in favor is Romero, Calderon Jr., Castillo, myself. Moving on to L4, agreement between Calexico High School and Association for Supervision and Curriculum Development for Professional Learning Services for Saturday, June 2nd, 2018 for CHS certificated staff.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Calderon Jr., second by Romero. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All those in favor is Romero, Calderon Jr., Castillo, myself. Moving on to L5, memorandum of understanding between Calexico Unified School District and ICOE for College and Career Readiness Initiative.
So moved.
Second.
Who was the motion by?
Romero.
Motion by Romero, seconded by Calderon Jr. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All those in favor is Romero, Calderon Jr., Castillo, myself. Moving on to L6, memorandum of understanding between Calexico Unified School District and Imperial County Office of Education for mutual obligations pursuant to the Bullying and School Violence Advocacy Program.
So moved.
Second. Motion by Calderon Jr., second by Alvarado. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All those in favor is Romero, Calderon Jr., Castillo, and myself. L7, memorandum of understanding between Calexico Unified School District and Imperial County Behavioral Health Youth for alcohol and drug counseling for 2018-2019 fiscal year.
So moved.
Aye, yes.
So motion by Calderon Jr., second by Calderon. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All those in favor is Romero, Calderon Jr., Castillo, myself. Moving on to L8, Calexico High School Navy Cadet Enrichment 3-day academy offered to first-year Navy cadets from June 19th to the 21st, 2018 at Calexico High School main
So-
campus.
That's what I was reading. So, what are the Navy cadets gonna do on these 3 days?
As I mentioned before, our Navy Cadet program, it's becoming more and more successful. And what we'd like to do, or the program would like to do, is to bring on board potential incoming cadets, freshmen, and give them an overview and cover standards, cover expectations to ensure their commitment. What we've learned in these last 2 years is that incoming ninth graders kind of get excited when they see the Navy Cadet program, but they go into the classroom, they see the curriculum and the expectations, and some of them are requesting to be taken out of the classroom, so we want to avoid that.
So kind of like boot camp.
Yes.
Okay, I move to approve.
Second. Motion by Calderon, second by Alvarado. All those in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
All those in favor is Romero, Calderon Jr., Castillo, myself. Moving on to L9, approval of submittal of selected courses for the Robert F. Morales Adult Education Center for the school year 2018-19 to the California Department of Education.
So moved.
Second. Motion by Calderon Jr., second by Alvarado. All those in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
All those in favor is Romero, Calderon Jr., Castillo, myself. Moving on to L10, Kennedy Garden State Preschool 2017-18 Program Self-Evaluation.
So moved.
Motion.
Second.
Who made the motion? Castillo?
Romero.
Romero, second by Calderon Jr. All those in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
All those in favor is Romero, Calderon Jr., Castillo, myself. Moving on to L11, revised single plan for student achievement for 2017-18 for the following schools: Blanche Charles, Cesar Chavez, Dole, Jefferson, Kennedy Gardens, Mains, Rockwood, Enrique Camarena, Willie Moreno, Aurora, and Calexico High School.
So moved.
Second. Motion by Calderon Jr., second by Alvarado. All those in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
All those in favor is Romero, Calderon Jr., Castillo, and myself. L12, rejection of claim for Michael C. Main versus Calexico Unified School District.
I motion to reject the claim.
I'll second that motion. Motion by Calderon Jr., second by myself. All those in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those in favor is Romero, Calderon Jr., Castillo, and myself. L13, acceptance of release of accident claim for Ms. Monica A. Jimenez.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Romero, second by Calderon Jr. All those in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those in favor is Romero, Calderon Jr., Castillo, and myself. L14 is a resolution to sign orders for 2017-18 school year.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Romero, second by Calderon Jr. Mr. Romero,
Yes.
Calderon?
Yes.
Calderon Jr.?
Yes.
Castillo?
Yes.
Myself, yes. Moving on to L15, accounts payable pre-list and addendum.
Motion to approve.
I'll second. Motion by Calderon Jr., second by myself. All those in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those in favor, Romero, Calderon Jr., Castillo, myself. We're going to go back into closed session. It is 8:22 p.m.